name is Chris Claremont. You're watching Omni X-Men.
Hi, I'm Bob McLeod, and you're watching Omni X-Men.
Hey, I know. I told you the show's just starting. I gotta go. Just click the link. You can jump in and I gotta go. Yep. Okay. Yep. Love you. Bye. Hey, everybody. What is going on, gang? It is back for another Omni X-Men. We've returned and we got another omnibus right here. If you don't know about that little gig, go check out my my Instagram page. You might get it from that. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a little while. We've been on a little hiatus. We did do a kickoff show over on John's channel last week to kind of recap where we left off for Omni X-Men. If you guys are not familiar, this is where we break down omnibus that are written by Chris Claremont, is where we all started with this. 94 and Giant Size X-Men 1. This is year number 6 now. And if you're just jumping into this, technically last season we talked New Mutants and we broke that series down, and now we're getting back into the main series with this. Technically, this is the one that we're on now. So it's volume 5. If anybody's interested, if you're still not sure exactly what the deal is with this, go check out John's channel. His information's in the description below. But of course, yeah, I'm talking about John. I'm talking about my co-host and my good friend, Johnny Boy. Hey.
What is going on, gang? I got your newsstands. I got your direct editions. We're back. The Juggernaut, bitch.
Yes, I love it. I love it. The colors pop on that thing too. That's nice.
Yeah, it's a very vibrant cover. Lots of. Right. We'll get into the art styles of John Romita Jr. tonight.
Nice.
But yeah, inversely, you could be reading this omnibus. You don't know.
That's true.
I'm doing the prelude to the Mutant Massacre omnibus, but it's basically the same. You pick and choose. You pick and choose your poison here, folks.
Dude, how are you feeling about technically week 1 of the show being back?
It's funny. It doesn't feel like that. It still feels like we're just rolling, like it's just happening. But maybe we're so in the groove now. We've done it for so long, right?
It's our Black Panther kind of filled the gap there a little bit, so I think that helped. Little mutant love there with Storm,
right? But but I will say this felt different in the sense that like we had done a full season of New Mutants. It was interesting to be back specifically with our mutants, mutants.
Yes, great point. Yeah, we definitely had taken a bit of a break there, jumping into the New Mutant stuff, which again, and I said this on the stream last time, I love how it all lined up with where we've been reading and the era just in general. And there's some crossover even tonight. There's mentions of the stuff that we had read. So it's nice to kind of have a little bit of that background now, and especially for someone like myself who was pretty new to New Mutants, getting into it last year. So that I think it was worth it for us to kind of take that left turn there for a little bit, and
for sure.
And who knows, at some point we'll have to go back.
Yeah, we I know some of those issues will be in some of the event omnis that we'll do in future seasons, so they will be sprinkled in throughout. We may not choose to go and do another full omnibus of New Mutants. We'll have to make some choices on that as we go along. But getting a foundation with those 34 issues of New Mutants was, I think, very invaluable.
Yep, couldn't agree more. Well, we got a special night because, not only is it that it's our kickoff night, but we got one of our good friends with us tonight. Yes, running the Council of X. It's our good friend Ryan, aka Colossus Collector. Ryan. Oh, there it is. Look at, he's ready. My man's ready.
What's going on, guys?
Got the whole Omni. You're locked in for the season, Ryan.
I'm locked in. I'm back. I didn't have New Mutants.
That's all right.
So I had to use the iPad last season. But we're back to paper omnibus.
Love it.
Printed omnibus. Love it.
Awesome, man. We're happy to have you back, man. How you been?
Doing good. Happy to be back. Happy for Omni X-Men to be back and ready to jump in.
Awesome. Always love your background setup. For those who are not following Ryan or don't know Ryan, you certainly should make sure you do so. I put his information in the description below, including his YouTube channel and his Instagram page. Definitely, you want to talk comics or X-Men or all of it in one, or Colossus. This is definitely your guy. So make sure you are subbed up and following Ryan. And of course, as I mentioned before, John's information is in the description below as well. If you guys are new, this show goes back and forth between John's channel and my own. So next week we'll be on John's channel. So if you're looking to make sure you don't miss a beat, don't miss an issue, make sure you're subscribed over at John's channel as well. John, before we move into saying hello to everybody, I did also want to mention that we have a new featured artist, or technically multiple artists, the Frame brothers, who I had put their links in the description below. So make sure you do so. If you guys are not familiar, we do a giveaway every year, every season. And this year we're going to be giving away this artwork from the Frame brothers right here. Blow that up. So we already have it. A little different than what we've done in the past, but it's already done.
They both signed it. You can see one there and one there.
Love it. Love it.
New team looking all boss. Yep. There's Ryan's guy there flexing, standing tall.
Yep. Love it. So you have a chance, you being the viewer, even Ryan, technically, you all have a chance at winning that bad boy at the end of the season. And all you got to do is answer some questions at the end of the episode, each episode that we do. So tonight we will, after we break down X-Men 194, we'll be doing some trivia based on last episode, which didn't really necessarily hone in on one particular issue. So, hopefully you got to watch a little bit of it, or you can just take a stab at it and give an answer, because we always look for 2 correct answers and 1 funny incorrect answer. So you could always try to get your name on the board there. But if you get any of these right, if you fill one of those slots, we will write your name down and collect those over time throughout the season. Usually the season ends around June. And that's when we'll do our raffle giveaway, along with all the other things that we do as far as our kind of big giveaway finale. So for those wondering how you can win that piece that John just held up before, that is how you can do it. And of course, go support the Frame brothers. Their information is down below, their Instagram, their website as well. I don't know them personally, but just from checking out their page and obviously from the stuff that we have now that we're giving out, certainly support them if you can. Always great to see up and coming artists and them just doing their thing. So
they're like legit, like they've done Knights of the Dinner Table, which is a very popular series. So they've got published comic book artwork. They're very talented folks. And and thank you to Magic Lasso for giving me the idea, because he had bought a sketch cover from them that was so gorgeous. I was like, well, I gotta curiously see what they've got. And he kept sending me like links to their stuff. Magic Lasso was like, oh, you should look. And when he sent me this cover, I was like, well, I think I need to buy that. Whether that goes to the community or not, like, I gotta get this.
Yeah, right. When you hit me up about it, John, you're like, you want to do this one? I'm like, yeah, let's go with that one.
And I was like, I kind of already bought it.
Yeah.
If we're not giving it away, I'm keeping it.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out Ryan. Says, I am the juggernaut, bitch. That's right. Classic line. Let's say hello to the rest of the chat here, starting with our good friend Matt Impress Comics. Matt, what is going on, my friend? Good to see you as always. We are back with the season. I know you're excited. John doing his thing as usual. That's right. We got our good friend Candace Barbosa hanging out in the chat. What is going on, Candace? Always appreciate you hanging out with us as well. Let's see, scrolling through, we got our guy, the Jackson Roy Kirk. Oh yeah, that's right. It's Candace's birthday today. Happy birthday, Candace.
Totally
that's right.
Forgot about that.
She had mentioned that on the last show. Happy birthday to you, Candace. Enjoy it. You and Carlos have some fun. Roy Kirk, good to see you, sir. We got Melanin and Manga here. Sheena, what is going on? Good to see you. And Ninja. Let's see, scrolling. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. We got Adam Make Stuff Up. Good to see you, Adam. Feel like it's been a while as well.
Adam, we got to get together and do some comic hunting, because I got comics for you that you won last season. They're here at my house, but I said I'm not going to ship them. I'm just going to go hang out with Adam. We'll go hunting or something.
That's the best way to do it. They save some money too. Let's see. We got our other guy, Big Daddy John Ross, in the chat. What is going on, John? For those who know, me, John, and Noah, Broke Boy Comics, we've been doing a music streaming show. I don't know. We don't really have a name for it. We just pick an album and we talk about it, reviews. So if you guys are interested in some music, the 3 of us are doing that. We have a show coming up in a week or 2 weeks, which will be right before this show. Just kind of.
Do you know what's the topic for that one?
We're doing the classic self-titled album Boston from the band Boston.
Oh wow! All right.
I have
great cover.
Great cover, yeah. And we'll talk about that on the show. But I had never sat and just listened to that album straight through, and it was actually John's pick. So we're taking turns, kind of doing picks certain albums. So John, nice pick. We'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. Let's see, scrolling through, see more people. Yes, Roy Kirk is ready. He is ready to drop that line. That'll be for later. Let's see. All right, I think we got everybody covered. Oh, John wants a Brooks and Dunn review or Tiny Tucker.
Stop.
Ryan. No,
Ryan,
I am
damn
all
it.
about Brooks and Dunn. I am all
All right,
about, and Tanya Tucker's
Lasso.
fine too. I have no problem
just-
with that. Huge fan of Brooks and Dunn, Ryan. So I'm down.
That song I used. So that song I used for the video I dropped yesterday. He's like, "Oh, Brooks and Dunn did a version of that," and I bet you if you'd played that, Justin would have heard of it. And I was like, I listened to it. I was like, "That's trash."
My god!
Get this country music crap out of here. What are we doing? What are we doing? You had me at Boston. You lost me at Brooks and Dunn. I don't know what this is. Get out of here.
He said,
Adam, there is a comic book like event thing. I'm going up your way. I'm going to get the details and I'll send it on to you, buddy.
There you go. Everybody wants to say, I've been framed. Yes, that's damn it. Now that's definitely on the list, Roy Kirk. That's another reason.
Whoever wins it, you've been framed.
Yeah. Any Diana Ross reviews? I must know. if we do, Ryan, we'll have you on.
Now you're talking.
All right. So let's we've been kind of shuffling some things around, some ideas based off of the last few seasons. I know in the past we've kind of interviewed our guests, and I feel like for the most part, John, as we talked about, most of our guests are people we've had on now multiple times. So we're going to jump into the series this time around. We do have a little bit of an added addition to the end of the episode. So Ryan, you'll be the first to kind of have that curveball thrown at you. You'll like it, especially being a sports fan that you are. Especially being a sports fan, you will appreciate this. John doesn't realize that I am slowly turning this into a sports reference show. So
you're out of bounds on that.
So yeah.
Sorry, you're
a little bit offside. A little bit offside.
Yeah, into touch.
See, he's got it. All right, so let's jump into this. We're talking Uncanny X-Men 194. As usual, we like to talk about the cover first and foremost and get our ideas, our thoughts on that. So, John, why don't you take it away? What are your initial thoughts as you saw this cover?
I've seen this cover many times, and only like about a year or two ago did I really spend time like dissect. Now that we've done this show, I've spent more time looking at some covers that I may have just dismissed in the past. This cover is bonkers. Yeah. There is so much happening here. The fact that Nimrod is dirty dancing Juggernaut at this point. It's really something. I never thought of Juggernaut as Jennifer Grey before, and Nimrod as Patrick Swayze. I'm just wowed by it. And then what in the world is Nightcrawler doing? Like when you first look at this, you're like, what happened to Nightcrawler? He's wearing Rogue's clothes, but he's got Colossus's arms. You would not believe how long I firmly believed that this was Nightcrawler on this cover.
Yep.
I was a legitimate adult collector of comics before I realized that this was Rogue, like wearing everybody's powers simultaneously and yet still dressed for a Madonna video at the same time. Yeah. Like it's just a lot. But here's the deal, gang. Like even with all of that, this is a dynamic cover. Like this is an exciting, like I need to find out what's happening in this comic kind of cover. And even if you aren't a Juggernaut or Nimrod fan or have no clue who those characters are, the question of who is this on the front cover here in front of them in green should, if nothing else, absolutely draw you in and be like, okay, I gotta figure out what is going on here.
Yeah, well said, and definitely, have some words on that too. Before I pass it over to you, Ryan, I want to say a quick hello to our good friend Uncanny Derek in the chat, another Council of X member. Good to see you, my friend. He says one of the worst JRJR covers. Okay. Ryan says, "Look at that Nimrod." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. He's also one-handing Juggernaut, which can't be. You can't give enough respect for being able to one-handedly carry Juggernaut up.
It's very true. Candace says it's a lot to look at, but I love seeing my boy Nightcrawler again, or so I thought. Exactly. Yeah. Throws us all off. All right, Ryan, what are your initial thoughts as you first saw this cover?
I too, like for a long time, seeing it without having read it, thought that was Nightcrawler, thought it was super weird, didn't know what the context was there. It's a little bit weird too, because Rogue generally doesn't, I wouldn't think that she would manifest Nightcrawler's like outward appearance rather than his ability to teleport or be acrobatic and whatnot. So it's a little bit weird. Whereas Colossus's power, I would think would manifest visually, but it throws you for a loop and makes you wonder what the heck's going on. It's not my favorite cover. I would say I don't hate it quite as much as my buddy Derek is saying, but it would make me want to read to see what's going on in this issue. That's for sure. But it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Ryan, did you ever see the I think it was Excalibur where she becomes Apocalypse, like Rogue takes over his appearance, like she takes his powers and basically I think she kills him, but they bring him back, but like completely absorbs his appearance where she can like stretch like him, and she's got his like crazy lips and everything. Wild.
That sounds pretty crazy. Yeah, no, I didn't realize that she would take on such physical attributes.
Yeah. Well, only physical attribute is their mutant ability, meaning like Nightcrawler.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
that's so Apocalypse, Nightcrawler, Colossus, right? They all have like an exterior. Their ability affects their exterior, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm with you guys as far as, I mean, look, like honestly, I feel like I've never really spent a lot of time looking at this cover or really gave it its due as far as just respectfully looking at it, because I've never read this issue up until now. It was always just one that was in very much the future. I never thought I'd get this far to X-Men with how much we've been reading, just felt like it was light years away. And it just was one that never stood out to me, really. I will say, now that I've read it, I feel like it's gotten a lot better, just overall. I think, Ryan, how you put it, I don't hate it. And John, the way you had those two up, like, at least from this distance and a small little screen, I really like the colors popped. Like it looked,
right.
It looked like a nice bright cover. I like the blues and everything else going on between that and the characters, the blues in the background. So, mixed feelings. I always say I have mixed feelings with Romita's work, generally speaking. So some of it's all hit or miss. It's like some of it I really enjoy. Other things I'm just like, what is that? I do think that this makes it, as you guys said, way more curious in my opinion, as if now that I'm really looking at it, like, man, I probably would have wanted to know what happened in this book and why is Nightcrawler looking like that sort of thing. I think I'm with you guys there. Also still very new to Nimrod. I should clarify,
because he's still a very new character. We've only really seen him, I think, in like 3 issues or something at this point. So he's still a very new.
His first appearance is only 3, 4, or 5 issues before this. So and really, I'm so used to just reading the Powers of X, like that whole storyline, than more current, stuff that I have a whole different view on Nimrod, which, I mean, certainly parts of it are accurate, but like, it's just obviously so different. So
it's just another pink robot to fight. You guys got to be ready. Those pink and purple robots come out everywhere.
Exactly. Let's see. Adam says, there was an X-Men fundraiser comic for famine relief. In the book, Rogue has to borrow several team members' powers, and she looks very. Yeah, exactly. So I actually recognize her here. Yeah, I mean, like I said, now that I've read it too, I mean, definitely see that.
Derek, I can see what you're saying, Derek. That's it's fair, and nobody's claiming that it's like a masterpiece. I do think. Buckle up. Romita's got way worse covers.
I agree. That's my point. Yeah,
he's got some dogs. So just be, save some bullets is what I'm saying.
Yeah. My dad is in the chat. What is going on?
Hey.
He is newly a grandfather because my sister just had a baby.
Hey,
so, congratulations.
Yeah.
Prost. Congratulations, sir.
Papa No Good. Now
my daughter was just reading some of his
Justin on being
Uncle Justin. Right.
I was gonna say my daughter was reading some of his Flash comics like a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's always going back through.
Love it. All right, well, let's get into the issue here. So to Let me think. So technically we're kind of in a clean slate here with where this takes place. It does start to reference things. But yeah, we get the Juggernaut in town. We're in New York City. And we see
there it is.
we see him walking, not in all his gear as he normally is. But there's news going on. There's police that are kind of guiding everybody. They're scrambling, saying that there's some emergency going on, that Juggernaut is back in town. You get this really cool splash page that you see in the middle there. And then it just kind of goes into a little bit of a background reference to a few things, really. One, Juggernaut himself, the idea of how he's perceived to the public. Two, he was just in like a recent brawl with Spider-Man and the X-Men in Marvel Team Up 150 that it mentions, which is technically we didn't break that down in the previous series or the 2 years ago, but we had read 149. So 150, and actually my dad did 150, the cover for that. But so he's brought. This is kind of tying into 150 if you guys have read that, but kind of leaving the question of, these news anchors are wondering, Spider-Man and some of these other heroes, X-Men and all this, they've always been known to kind of, come through when it comes to villains and stopping others to save humanity. But now the question's kind of in the air, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? And we get a lot more of that kind of teetering throughout this issue of, where does Juggernaut stand? Where did the X-Men stand with Juggernaut? And we'll get into that. But interesting to see even just these little flashbacks and these little blue TV blurbs to kind of get an idea of where the world stands at looking at a guy like Juggernaut. And yeah, so it all kind of just takes place there. John, I'll start with you. What'd you think of kind of just this opener and setting the stage for New York City again and just seeing the Juggernaut, not even seeing anyone else but Juggernaut?
I love the panel layouts and the panel to panel storytelling on these 3 pages. It is fantastic. And I think maybe we were dealing with some rough New Mutants issues towards the end, but this felt so smooth. It felt cinematic. It felt like it just sucked you right in. Those first 4 panels building to the big splash, really effective and really wonderful, because we're looking at it going like, yo, cops, he's right. The dude you want is right there. Like, how do you miss this guy? He's as big as the house.
Right.
I love it. And then the 3rd page, all the exposition just kind of like beautifully kind of laid out in news reporter style. It's really a smooth open. And I really was happy with this. And reading it digitally and reading it in the omnibus, very easy, smooth reading for sure. Yep. And that reveal, again, you turn the page in the omnibus and wham, there's the Juggernaut, huge with his name right across his chest. I love it.
Juggernaut's back in town. Yeah, well said. Yeah, Roy Kirk makes a great point. I know he's not in costume, but how many 7'10" tall and 12-inch wide guys, have you seen? That's very true. Very true. Ryan, what are your thoughts here? Just getting into this, and I'm actually curious too, Ryan, where you stand with Juggernaut in general, knowing that he and your boy Colossus have been known over the years to really throw down, and just give us a little background. How do you feel about Juggernaut as a whole?
I personally love Juggernaut. Like,
cool.
Yeah, he's a prototypical antagonist to Colossus. They've had their run-ins, and it's always I love their run-ins. I love a good slobber knocker, I think they're built to battle until the end of time, so I love Juggernaut. I would say he's probably my favorite villain that Colossus fights. And he's great in this issue. I like the plain clothes. He's kind of just on an off day. He's taking care of some banking, that sort of thing. I love that. I love seeing that side of him in this story. And then as far as these pages go, we were talking about the cover and in JR, and yes, he's maybe guilty of some less than top-notch covers and books sometimes, but I think he's like at his best here. Like, yeah. I mean, he's got a simplistic style, but like, look at the detail of the architecture and the lines in the courthouse or whatever, the bank front house stairs and everything looks great. And then I love that splash page with Juggernaut standing behind the cop. The cop's so well drawn and just
man,
it's amazing art.
clean.
I love it. I absolutely
Yeah.
love it. So it's nice to see him kind of flex his muscles. Maybe he was able to take his time with these pages, you know. They turned out great.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked a lot about the right inker for the right artist, and Dan Green and Steve Leialoha.
Yes.
Really, I think are listed here as finishers. So it's quite possible they're really putting in a lot to kind of curb the worst tendencies and shape the best of what Romita was doing.
Yeah. Yep. Well said. Yeah, Derek, great point. He says, such a killer splash page without having any action really sucks you in, even if you're unfamiliar with the character. Yeah, regardless who this is, you're just like, damn. You know, the height and everything else next to this cop, for sure. Definitely agree. Adam says it took decades to change him from a two-dimensional bad guy character, bad guy who just wants to trash the X-Men to an actual character. But I guess I could say the same for Magneto. Yeah, good point. Good point. And Candace says, I agree. I love seeing the height difference drawn here. Yeah, for sure. I'm with you guys. This is definitely, Ryan, I think you put it best, just some of his cleanest work that I think we've seen so far. So hopefully we get some more of that, you know, at least with these splash pages. So, all right, cool. Yeah, no, I'm definitely on board with you guys here. Let's keep it going. So as this news is being released to the public, we get a visit of the team up north, upstate New York. And I thought this was pretty cool the way they kind of did this simultaneously. You know, we had the anchor, you know, out in the street and giving their news. And now you're rehearing parts of it as you see the team waking up. First, you see Nightcrawler, who, you know, is clearly, you know, disturbed and wants to stay in bed a bit longer. But he immediately hears Juggernaut and he knows that's a real deal. Like, hey, we got to wake up. We got to do something. So he's up and about immediately. You got Kitty Pryde right underneath that, using her powers to shut down her alarm clock, which I love to see. And then, of course, you got Colossus here, who the minute he hears Juggernaut, and Ryan, I know we're just talking about like their feud, he is like fired up, you know, especially knowing the last time that these two met that they reference here. He had a bar dropped on him not too long ago, a literal bar dropped on him. So
he wants some payback. He wants some payback.
Big time. And that was like clearly, you know, on his mind, especially, you know, Colossus has been going through some rough stuff right now, personal life and things with Kitty. So, you know, I think that even just embarrassed him even more. So, yeah, I think, you know, he definitely has it on his mind and understandably. Meanwhile, this scene also gives you Rachel, who is Rachel Summers, just waking up and also kind of just thinking deeply into, you know, where she is right now compared to her future self and where she had come from. We're still learning about Rachel and that she's from the future, and knowing that her background, most of these people are dead or gone, and that's what triggers it. I think she mentions the radio mentions the Fantastic Four and how they're not available to like help stop Juggernaut. So that kind of triggered this whole like memory lane for her, and it's a good way to give perspective to the reader. Oh yeah, that's right. This is where we're at right now with Rachel. And then of course we have Rogue, she just wants to hear some tunes. I mean, I don't blame her. I like to play music when I'm showering and like, you know, the last thing you want to hear is a commercial break or the news or something like that. So girl, you got to get Spotify or something, make a playlist. I don't know. She looks like she's in a herbal essence commercial. So I had to throw that gif in there. And then we have Wolverine, who's also in deep thought, and he's thinking about the team. He's thinking about the idea that, and this is also a reminder to us, the readers, that since Storm is gone, Nightcrawler is actually the leader. You know, we don't have Cyclops, we don't have Storm, and he talks a little bit about that and how Professor X essentially is the one that kind of put him in charge, and he thinks that he's the guy to do it because Wolverine doesn't believe in himself for that kind of stuff as far as making smart decisions, and he thinks a lot of the rest of the team is still young-minded too, or inexperienced, I should say. So just interesting to hear some of that, and of course he goes and talks to the elf and says, hey, you know, like, we got a job. They're talking about Juggernaut on the radio, so, you know, what are we doing here? And to what I would reply to as well, Nightcrawler says, I need some coffee, first and foremost. Let's start there. Ryan, I'm going to start with you first here. What'd you think of this? This kind of like double-sided, you get to hear the news that we just read prior, and it walks us through, again, just like a little kind of introduction to where the team's at as a whole.
Well, first of all, I got to say, reading this page today, I was Nightcrawler this morning, waking up after staying up watching the World Series.
The game, yes, dude.
At 3 a.m. last night. I was Nightcrawler. The Nightcrawler was me. I was Nightcrawler. Yeah, I love this. This is a great way of just checking in on each character and where they're at. Sets up like this is, we've all been there. Like, this is gonna be a day. This is gonna be a day we don't really want to go and get out of bed. And they're all going through it in various stages. Of course, Wolverine's already been up and running, out there. And it's just different degrees of where they're at and their mindset going into what's going to be a difficult day on the job. And I just like the storytelling through this whole set of pages.
Yep. Well said. And yeah, I thought about you, Ryan. Brutal, tough game, man. Tough game. John, what about you? What were your thoughts here?
I mean, we've talked a lot about how great downtime moments are in X-Men comics, and this is a great example of it because you get a quick check-in with everybody, a quick little moment to highlight how they would handle the news and the information that's coming across. In particular, I'm vibing with Rogue here in a big way as far as like the news is on. Give me my tunes. I'm getting in the shower. Good Lord. I don't need more news right now. I am informed as much as I want to be just to shut the rest of this out. And then the Logan sequence I thought was wonderful because I think it's the most self-aware and mature we've seen Logan be. The experience in the Logan solo series that we read, and then the Logan and Kitty Pryde miniseries that we read, I think you can see the impact that time in Japan has had on him.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously in his clothing choices, but also I think in just his overall sense of self, meaning he knows I'm probably the oldest one in this crew, but I don't feel like I'm fit for being the leader at this moment. And I agree with Xavier's choice, but I also feel like I need to find a way to support my friend. And there's an interesting sort of introspection happening with Logan in these, 8 panels or 10 panels. Yeah. And I think it fits him nicely and it fits with his place and he understands his role in this team. And it's not a leadership role. It's maybe a quarterback role or a running back role, but he is not the coach here. I'm not ready for that responsibility. There's your sports reference for the day. And I just like the way this check-in works for everybody.
Yep. Agreed. Rucker says, yeah, I'm vibing.
Aren't we all? I thought what a great, that middle page, what a great original art page that would be to own as a Colossus collector, but also as someone who likes to vibe with Rogue, taking showers.
You're winning. But you're right. Yeah. It is cool that you get so many little storylines too that cover this page. Like honestly, any 3 of these, I think all 3 of us should own one of the pages. How cool would that be?
That's fair. Let's go find them. Yeah. Sell the rest of your collection and get
a couple $1,000. But we'll get there, boys. Ryan, you've been on a kick for some original art there. I've seen over this.
It'll get you, guys. It'll get you.
John knows all about that. All right, let's keep this going. So now that we kind of know a little bit of where the team is, we do get a little refresher of where Storm is because we haven't seen her since she's left to go back to Kenya. So we get a scene with her here. She is, this initial scene, we don't see her. We get this dude, this creep who's trying to hit on this waitress in Kenya. He gets a little touchy-feely, and right as he attempts to make a move, we get Storm, who steps in out of nowhere, basically says, knock it off. Hey, you heard the lady, leave her alone. This guy apparently has some goons with him. He's got a little, control. So he tells his goons to take care of this chick. And poor guys, they have no idea what they're about to deal with. But even though Storm doesn't have her powers, we know well what Storm can do. And so she really kicks some ass here in these next couple panels, these middle pages here, or middle panels. And even this other girl comes around. I guess she's the sister of the main guy, and Storm doesn't care. She's like, "Look, I'll take all of you out right now. You better leave." And then we get a shot of Storm with a shotgun. John, come on, we get a shotgun Storm.
It's It's not an AK-47. There's no armor.
No, but
but it's going to stand for a good thing.
Claremont, he finds a way. And then so this girl who she just saved is like recognizing Storm and immediately recognizes her as being the goddess from Kenya from back in the day, and is pleased to see her again, and kind of welcomes her. But she does keep that perspective in check, Storm, by kind of saying, hey, like not exactly who I once was, but I'm here to find myself again. So I'll leave that before we get into the next kind of set of panels. But John, it's your girl. I'm going to pass it to you first. What do you think?
I mean, it's a great sequence. And this is the reason why this book is labeled as a key, because this is the first appearance of the Fenris family, if you will. These are characters that we will see again, the blonde crew here, the brothers and sister here. But yeah, I think it's you're in Africa, Storm's on her walkabout or whatever, and this is coming. And then of course when it does, I love that also your gift covers the only moment when she gets taken down. She gets tackled and knocked out the door there. I love it. No, she doesn't take anything. She's throwing elbows, she's throwing knives, she's picking up guns, and holding court here.
Exactly. And I want to, when we go to the end of this episode, I want to bring back your point of these characters that you brought up, because I actually thought it was someone else in this book. So we can talk deeper on that. Ryan, what are your thoughts here with our girl Storm?
I mean, I know when I'm going out into the African jungle, I'm always going to pack my sexy loincloth poncho that Storm's rocking here.
That's right.
All the side boob, Ryan. All the side boob.
Just in case you encounter some entitled womanizing Von Strucker twins in the African savannah. It works great.
Fair.
I don't know, just a good little check-in with Storm and where she is on her journey. Not a whole lot to do with the issue itself, but just kind of an update and a nice little appearance from the Von Struckers in this update.
Yep. And I will say, before I go into these next slides, there's two here at the bottom. I don't think I included them in the next page, but they are relevant going into the next page. We go back to New York as we see the First United National Bank. And we get a little visit where the team is basically on like a Mission Impossible kind of spy mission to see what is going on with Juggernaut, because they know the deal. They're all working together. They're all kind of speaking through mind speak to each other, thanks to Rachel. And they see that in that one panel there on the far side is Juggernaut just peacefully hanging out at the bank. And as of right now, they don't want to make any assumptions, but they're like, is this guy about to rob the place? What's he up to? Or is it just a regular day in the park? So let me jump into those panels here. So we get the team kind of communicating, Kitty Pryde using her or using her mind speaking the way Rachel had requested. She has this one little awkward moment here that I wanted to point out, and maybe you guys can elaborate on. But she mentions Jean Grey, which is Rachel's mom, and that she immediately knew that was a sensitive subject and tried to change the subject. And she's like, no, it's all good. You're fine. But just thought that was interesting, because this is clearly something everybody's aware of, even though it's a really odd, unique situation and to begin with, knowing that Rachel's like from a different era or different time. Otherwise, we get Nightcrawler and Rogue up top. They're also communicating through mind speak, just letting them know that all's clear up top. You get Peter and Wolverine there. This is where we get a little bit more into where Peter's mind's at, because he's still thinking about how he wants to throw down with Colossus and with Juggernaut. And Wolverine certainly is trying to tame his anger there and try to teach him a lesson there to be patient. And then you get these cool, pink visions, and we get Nimrod, as we've been talking about now. So I am Nimrod as he shows up at the bank, and really he's there because he gets a rating, in his detector that there's this dangerous human, and all we know as of right now, based on technically last issue 193, is that Nimrod is here to protect human beings and to stop mutant kind. So with that being said, he reads that there are two other mutants in the area, 3 total that he's like targeting, but he mentions that only 2 of them are mutant, which we should talk about as well. And immediately goes in for the attack on Juggernaut. That was his main, tip that he wanted to go off, thanks to the news and everything else. And he immediately Juggernaut, his normal clothes is completely gone, and as you can see him there on the far side, and the girls just fall to the side. They're like, "Whoa! Like, who is this pink and purple robot?" And that's kind of where we leave off with this scene. So, John, what are your thoughts here? You get the team that's on a mission, and then we get some interesting mini reveals. I guess what are your general thoughts here?
I love the layouts. I love the sequence that we go through here. The setup is really great, and of course that half splash of Nimrod jumping into the fray, all really, really works for me. I mean, I don't know where Juggernaut stores that helmet. I don't know. I didn't see a briefcase. I'm just saying the helmet that we see soon here. If someone can tell me where it came from, I would love to know.
The buttocks,
there,
like cupped around.
Correct answer. But yeah, there is definitely a little mystery here as to what is Nimrod's goal. His first appearance was 191, but we've only been getting little snippets of him so far. This is his first big throwdown. So his appearance throws everybody off. Not quite sure what's going on with him. And yeah, there's an interesting situation at play here where they don't want to judge Juggernaut for going to get a business loan or whatever he's doing, but at the same time they've got to be ready for anything, and now they are caught in the middle of 2 bad guys fighting each other.
Yep. Yeah, the girls don't know how to react. Ryan, what about you? What were your thoughts here as we jump into action?
Yeah, just Nimrod at his full form, showing off his power right off the bat. Juggernaut takes a blast full force. Obviously, Juggernaut's still the Juggernaut, so he could take it, but he definitely comes in with a bang. I love that. I love the middle page where you get a real good look at Nimrod big in a stance like that. And then like John said, I like all the little technical displays, looking at how he's cycling through information targets and all that sort of stuff. It's great 80s sci-fi sort of inspired stuff there. And he comes in with a bang and sets off a pretty good fight.
Yep, absolutely. I wanted to highlight this. My dad had mentioned in the chat here, kind of crazy. He says, I might get in trouble for this, but when I drew Storm, I was told they don't want her to look so black, and the inker redrew her nose. That's crazy.
And I commented that it reminds me of anime when they would reshape the eyes to make them more round when they were heroes. It's kind of similar, maybe it makes sense for that era of how editors expected female characters or male characters to look, and that's interesting to hear what the editorial thought process, or at least what the line was that you had to toe.
Yeah, right. One thing too to note in these pages that we talked about, so it just kind of stood out to me because I still don't know all the details of Juggernaut and his history, but he Nimrod says that he detects 3 primary targets. 2 are mutants, all are known to my memory bank. So he's got these read. But so I mean, clearly Kitty Pryde and Rachel Summers are mutants. So I feel like I kind of know this, but I kind of don't. And I mean, this goes more into it as we hear about magic and everything else that kind of goes into it. But was this something that caught you guys at all, or you're well aware of this, or?
Yeah, Juggernaut is technically often not considered a mutant. That his abilities are magical, and Derek, that's what Derek is saying when he says the Ruby of Sitarak, which is where his powers come from. Ultimately, I think it's imbued in the helmet that he wears. Most of his abilities come from that, which make him invulnerable, and that without it, he can be slightly more vulnerable, but not easy to damage. He's clearly massive, but his abilities are more magical based. Is that how you know it, Ryan?
He's like the avatar of Sitarak, which is like a god or demon. And yeah, the jewel is what kind of bestowed Juggernaut with his powers. He's not a mutant, even though he is related through marriage to Professor X. He is Professor X's step brother,
Right.
and so he's got deep ties into obviously X-Men and Professor X, and he's
But he
always been
doesn't
part
have
of he's been always part of the mutant storyline, but
right.
he,
But he
he
doesn't have the
himself
gene.
he is not himself a mutant. No.
Yeah. So
Which
I
I know was a storyline in the Krakoa era because he wasn't really invited to the island and he was not really given the opportunity to go because he couldn't get
makes
through any of the
sense.
portals or anything like that.
That makes sense. Yeah, that kind of like I didn't really fully connect all that. So yeah, I was kind of wondering how that works.
The power of Sidorak is also not, it's like Colossus has been given the power of Sidorak and was the avatar of Sidorak for a period of time as well. So
Okay.
it's something that has, and I know in the cartoon there's in the original 90s animated series there's an episode where a guy gets the power and Juggernaut has to kind of get it back from him. So it does move around sometimes in storylines.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's good to know. I'll have to look closer into that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know that the Sidorak was first mentioned in Strange Tales. I'm looking it up, and then of course Juggernaut's appearance, and then there was some connection to Doctor Strange, and I know that there was some sort of connection to Venom. I thought at one point.
Oh wow. Okay. This goes
Because
even deeper.
the gem does do a lot of sort of mischievous things in the Marvel universe.
Interesting. We got our man Stevie Conlin Comics in the chat. Says better late than never. Good to see you, brother. Happy Tuesday. We are back. Omni X-Men is back. Cool. No, that's interesting. Yeah, like I said, I still a character I'm learning more of as far as just his history goes. So that just stood out to me. I'm like, wait, so yeah.
And I want to make sure everyone they run into is a mutant, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They're in their own little pocket, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's all well. What isn't at one point he's part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants? Isn't he?
I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if he was part. They might have just stopped calling it Evil Mutants at that point,
Evil
realizing
Mutants
it's not good
Juggy.
for press. They just call themselves the Brotherhood. We're just the Brotherhood.
This one human. Yeah. All right, let's keep this going here. So yeah, the girls immediately kind of get out of harm. Kitty Pryde using her abilities to get Rachel down underneath the next level down with her as they kind of regroup and figure out what exactly is going on. They don't know what move they should make, who they should go after, because as you guys mentioned, they're confused with who's the bad guy in all this. We know what Juggernaut's capable of, but what who's this pink robot guy? Or they don't even know he's a robot at this point. So as they question that, they decide Rachel stays down below while Kitty Pryde goes up to kind of try to warn people to get, remember they're at a bank. So, I mean, there's regular folks just walking around that need to be rescued and make sure that they don't get damaged during this whole battle. Meanwhile, you get Nimrod, who basically manhandles Juggernaut. Juggernaut is like, hey, like, go, you just that makes me mad. And he just thinks he has him. But man, that middle page, he just goes flying. And this really works for Nimrod because he doesn't want to damage, he doesn't want to hurt humans either. So he kind of gets them out away from the crowds. So kind of just plays right into it. Also in this middle page is where he talks a little bit about the magic, and that's where it kind of started to stem for me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. He kind of has this other thing. I still thought he was a mutant though, so that's why I brought that up before. But he does mention that in this middle page. He goes, if not for that magical spell that made me Juggernaut, I could have been zapped just like this I-beam or whatever. So that's going on. Nimrod basically drops this entire building on him at that point, and then that's when the crew shows up. And Nimrod like is calling all these things. He's aware when the team shows up. It's almost like Iron Man, like is what it kind of reminded me of. Just the way mentally he's got his own notes to himself and all this other stuff. So really cool to just see how well aware he is of everything and dangerous he can be, Nimrod. Ryan, I'm going to throw it to you. Again, picking up with more action here. Any thoughts on these pages?
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, this really establishes that Nimrod is quite powerful. Like no one just handles Juggernaut, and he he does that in this. So it really sets up Nimrod to be quite the foe and problem for the X-Men and for Juggernaut. Yeah, and just like he's from the future, right? So he's got just advanced technology, whether it's his ability to just kind of survey and monitor everything, his the laser thing that he fires that disintegrates the I-beam, like he's just he's a badass sentinel. And I also, just an observation from the last page, that I'm not 100% sure if Nimrod, because Nimrod seems to know Kitty and Rachel. I found it kind of interesting that unless he came across Rachel in a couple of the previous issues, it's interesting that he would know Rachel since she comes from a different timeline, and it's that kind of makes for interesting questions just around like how does he know Rachel? Does Rachel actually exist in this timeline in the future? That sort of thing. I thought that was kind of puzzling when I read that.
No, that's a great point. John, anything there from what Ryan's saying, or I never really thought of that.
I know that there's a lot to be revealed about Nimrod as this kind of character grows in importance as we go along here, and I'm not remembering all the little details for him as well, as far as where he gets his memories and information and such. But for me, this is just all about throwing down, and he's got his helmet on now, and and Nimrod's blasting him. He's making things disintegrate. He's hurling him through the atmosphere or whatever, and dropping buildings on him, and it's a lot. And I like Kitty Pryde is she's borderline leading this team in a lot of ways. She's like, I got to rescue this person. Let me get back up and save this person. Let me figure out what we're doing here. She is definitely beyond her years at this phase. I'm really enjoying that.
Yep. Well said. Well said. And in the chat, yeah, good points. If maybe we're digging deep here, Ryan, there's some stuff in the near future that we'll learn a little bit more on, as John also pointed out. So, but yeah, great call, great point out. So some fun action. Let's keep it going then, because the rest of the crew show up very much in superhero fashion, and right off the bat, we get a fastball special. Not quite the combo that we're used to, but certainly does the job with Rogue, chucking Wolverine there. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work out for him, as he's immediately shocked with how his armor doesn't quite connect with what's going on with Nimrod. We also start to see Nimrod's got all these other abilities that start to happen. Between him kind of transporting himself, he's got this I-beam of some sort, it's a psionic attack technically. This as he says, an ultra high frequency sonic that takes out Juggernaut after he removes his helmet there, which that's a surprise for Juggernaut, because he thought the helmet would never move, as he mentions Tom Cassidy promised him. Which, by the way, we haven't seen him. I was kind of curious if he was going to show up, but I know the team even questioned that at one point. Kitty Pryde tries to do her thing. He tries to take her out with a beam. She lets it go through herself. She goes back, and very much like the alarm clock this morning, tries to apply that same strategy to this armor, and it doesn't work. And on top of that, she realizes there's nobody inside. So this is kind of the first time that the team is realizing that this may not be a human of any sort. And then whatever he zaps her with, she goes flying and is kind of paralyzed at the moment. Luckily, he gets saved by Rogue, as you can see in the far page there. And Rachel starts to put things together and realizing that she's got to make some moves in order to basically get control of the situation, and she drops a ton on Nimrod there, as you can see. And at this bottom clip here, basically Rogue carrying Kitty Pryde, and Rogue is like, man, Rachel's savage. She's not afraid to do whatever it takes, kind of like Wolverine does, as far as killing goes, and or at least attempt to kill. And then Kitty Pryde makes a move here where she ends up touching skin to skin with Rogue. Rogue is completely taken by this at first, and I'm not even going to get into the rest of it until we get into these next pages. But just want to, we'll see where we leave off on these pages. John, what are your thoughts on just more of what we learn with Nimrod and some of these abilities that he has, and we get to see the fastball special.
Yeah, right. He seems so indestructible, which is perfect. Like if you're gonna have one guy take on a team, he needs to feel like a genuine threat, and having him toss Juggernaut around like a rag doll for a few pages definitely gets you there. Then you throw in, like you're saying, a fastball special, Kitty Pryde trying to use her abilities to warp him or share information. She's showing all the strategy things, right? She's playing 3D chess, and nobody else seems to be doing that. And I think ultimately it leads to their victory, the way she is able to connect to Rogue and let Rogue know, you're the difference maker here. You got to get on board with this.
Yep. Well said. By the way, before I pass it to Ryan, I want to say a quick hello to TM Nerdy, Travis in the house. What is going on, Trav? And I also missed my man Tony from earlier. I was yapping. My man
Old
Tony
Wolf.
hanging out. Old Wolf in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. Ryan, what are your thoughts here? I know you were excited for the fastball special.
Yeah, I mean, usually I like it when my guy's the one doing the tossing, but I'll take a Rogue Wolverine combo. I mean, immediately, right off the bat, half the team gets knocked out, basically, of the fight. In that first page, Colossus, Nightcrawler, and Wolverine, and then I mean, like the utter just disrespect, Nimrod just backhanding the Juggernaut like he's nothing. I mean, it's just one more like this guy is not, or this guy is a problem. But like John was saying, this kind of presses Kitty into action, and she really has to step up for the team. And I mean, she uses her phasing powers beautifully. Unfortunately, doesn't quite work on Nimrod the way it usually does on technology. But then, even in her knocked out state, she's got the wherewithal to give Rogue essentially her powers to set Rogue up for success before she's kind of out of commission. Great set of panels just showing her abilities and her thinking and her performance under pressure. Pretty impressive. I this is coming off of the Wolverine Kitty miniseries. Clearly she's learned a lot from that experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked a little bit about that last stream. That was a big learning moment for Kitty and where she's at now, and you're seeing it here. I totally agree. Adam, some really great stuff there. Great points as we've been talking a little bit more about Nimrod and asking some questions. He says we do know that it was Rachel in the future who sent Kitty's mind back to save the senator in 141, 142. Very true. And that afterwards, Rachel came back personally, and Nimrod himself noted that he is from the future. So yeah, these are good things to keep in mind as we dive deeper into this. So yeah, I'm with you. The other thing too, that very last panel on the far end there, like her eyes open, like I just picture like Super Saiyan, like anybody that's Dragon Ball Z fan. She's just, her hair is gonna go like she's just going to that next level. Let's get into those next pages.
And the use of those eyes in the rubble, like floating eyes right above that set of panels, really kind of, there's some cool stuff going on here. Ramita not getting enough maybe love when he's doing it right like this.
Yeah, that's a very good point. As we get into the kind of the finale of this battle, this scene, this is where we get a little bit more explanation as to the cover that we were talking about earlier. Rogue realizes, hey, Kitty did this on purpose. I need to get as much of the team together, their abilities, and be able to do some damage to this guy, because otherwise we're not going to be able to stop him. She finds it really cool to have Kitty's powers here, even just for that second. She kind of takes a moment to be like, wow, this is pretty wild. The other two guys are down. Nightcrawler, she takes his abilities, she takes Colossus' abilities, and boom, at that bottom panel here, we get Rogue from that front cover. So everything's kind of explained here. She is that Super Saiyan that we were just talking about, and she comes through and does some butt kicking of her own to Nimrod, and it seems like, really took him by surprise. I think he was he felt almost too in control of everything, and
Right.
Juggernaut certainly not looking good, but Rogue able to do some damage. The only thing is, as she shatters him there in that middle page, it was almost like nothing ever happened, because his abilities, he's able to just rebuild himself so quickly, and she immediately realizes, okay, this guy is even more dangerous than what we even think, because we would have to grind him up to even have a shot, and even that might not be enough. So luckily he ends up bamfing away on his own, kind of escaping this attack that Rogue had put on him, and that was enough, at least, to buy them time and kind of close out this issue. So we get Juggernaut, who just kind of wakes up and is like, "Oh, are you here to take me in too? Like, are you with?" Like, he almost didn't know who's with who. He just knows X-Men typically attack him, so he's like, "We're doing another round here." And she's like, "No, like, you're good. You weren't doing any, you weren't causing any trouble. We'll leave you alone." And he kind of just walks off, doesn't say a thing, doesn't say thank you, and leaves. So interesting to see. The team is pretty banged up here, though. Pretty banged up, even though Rogue was able to kind of pull it together. So we had another page after this. But John, what are your thoughts on how this battle kind of comes to a close here?
It was really cool to see Rogue absorb all these abilities and then quickly realize methods for utilizing them in combat. And of course, the stripping the arm off of Nimrod by teleporting just the arm away was really cool. And then that gut punch down there at the bottom middle panel is so fantastic, just absolutely laying waste. And then the whiteout right after, where Nimrod escapes, and it's just like a flash of light. Really cool. Great art going on here for me.
Yeah, agreed. Ryan, what about you? Were you satisfied with this kind of battle finale here? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it's it's such a great example of Rogue using all the things that she's now acquired, right? She uses the teleportation to remove the arm, which compromises Nimrod's structure, and then she uses Colossus's metal form along with his strength and her strength, and maybe even a little bit of phasing to gut punch Nimrod and shatter him into pieces. My question is, did one James Cameron ever read the X-Men and maybe take a little inspiration for T-1000 in Terminator 2 in 1991? A robot from the future that can rematerialize itself, and pretty cool there. And just a great ending. And then love that they kind of give Juggernaut a free exit, since he's not really the one who started all the trouble in this issue. So great ending to a fun issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Roy Kirk says Wolverine looked up and said, "What about chopped liver?" Adam's another teleport escape. Chicken.
They just give up. They just give up and run away.
Who is James Cameron? Who's that guy?
Some guy.
All right, well, we're coming up here to the last page. Let's just jump into that before we talk into the rest. So little lead into the future here, as Claremont likes to do. We go over to Moscow and we get the KGB, which is definitely a group from Russia you don't want to mess with. All they're talking about basically is that they hear rumors that this criminal is being aided, Juggernaut, for his escape. And it kind of looks, they're kind of questioning like who this, pink robot looking guy was. And where does Juggernaut and the X-Men stand? Like, are they teaming up or are they bad? This could be good. This could be bad. A lot of politicking here kind of on these last couple of panels. And just that, seems like there might be this potential Armageddon to come, but that's really all. I don't think we even ever got these guys in previous issues that I recall, anyways.
No.
So I think this is just Claremont sprinkling some seeds again, very much like he's been doing, and we've really been getting these. He's really been leaving the last page for something completely different. Technically, if you go back to 193, that was with Jaime, and that was where we saw Nimrod still at his home. He's kind of welcomed him into his home and all that stuff before we get into this issue. So just something else to think about. But John, any thoughts here? I know this is a very brief little hint of things, but
it's just Claremont being Claremont and throwing in a little something that might be useful later on. So it's hard to like gauge the value of it at this phase, but I do like that what they're really doing is just talking about what the comic we just read and like we're doing. It's like, hey, you see that? Who is this guy? I don't know who that guy is. Well, let's find out. Like he must be some new superhero or villain. And like, okay, well, we'll figure it out next issue, I guess.
Next time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ryan, what about you? Any thoughts here to kind of this little hint of these characters?
Yeah, just I think a little bit of setup of this character maybe comes into play in some future issues. Interesting look into the time of this X-Men book, still during the Cold War. The automatic thinking from the KGB is, oh, Nimrod's a U.S. Why is the U.S. up to these kinds of shenanigans against heroes essentially within their country? It's kind of an interesting immediate place that they go to based on their political landscape and everything. It's just kind of an interesting look into the times of the issue, and just setting up a character that'll probably pop up in the future issues.
Yep. Well said. I definitely was kind of just questioning and like, okay, another seed. Here we go. Well, that is the issue. Let's get some. Actually, you know what? Before we get into final thoughts, because since we're throwing this curveball around, I think we're gonna let's keep it going here just for the time being. So let's get into the money. We talk a little bit about kind of where this has been from Go Collect's point of view and CGC and all that stuff. So if you're a fan or collector of that stuff, so key elements here. I had just put first appearance of the Fenris twins. So when I had looked this up, because I typically build out this last page this today, basically before the rest of the slides are done. I've already read it a few times. I immediately, when I read Fenris, or like when I just saw those names, I don't know why I just put it, I associated with the KGB at the end,
the Russian guys.
So as you but as you mentioned that, and then I saw the names, because they do say Andreas, I was like, oh, okay, never mind. As you pointed that out earlier. So that was one thing I wanted to I initially wanted to clarify, but now I realize I just misread that. So these twins, as John said, do come back later, so we'll see. I don't know who they are, never heard of them. There is 2 9.9s on the census for CGC here. The last one was sold at $300 back in 2019. There are no graded 10s for this book. However, you can get a 9.8 for about $95 fair market value. And then it drops to about a third of that on a 9.6, which is pretty typical.
And if you do, apparently send it to Derek, because he loves this cover, right?
Yes,
this is one of his faves.
Exactly. Any thoughts here on the pricing or the key elements, John?
I mean, I don't know why you would buy a slab of this book. I guess if you were trying to Jedi Knight this whole run and get it all in a 9.8, I guess you could. That would be the only reason. There you go, Derek. But ultimately, no, this is not a book. This is a book. Honestly, the interior is so superior to the exterior. This is a book you want to read, gang. You want to open this up and check it out for sure. And who the Fenris twins are, I mean, good Lord. I don't know that I've seen these characters in comics since the 80s, so I'm not shocked that you've never heard of them.
Yeah. I mean, hey, a 9.8 at almost $100 is I feel like that's kind of a saying something. I'm kind of surprised. Like I feel like a 9.8 of this should be like a $40 book or something. Just
right.
Just
I mean, X-Men first appearances can go up, and right now the rumor is that they might make some kind of connection to the WandaVision show because of their magical whatever. I was reading in the Key Collector app about the issue earlier today, and there was a note about the whatever it's called. The new series is called Vision Quest or something.
Oh, so Wanda has twins. Maybe her twins are Andrea and Andreas Fenris. Boom. There it is. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
I'm guaranteeing. Buy this book now. Send it to Derek, and he'll thank you later.
They are obscure, but Andrea and Andreas von Strucker are the children of Baron von Strucker of Hydra fame. Ooh. And Baron von Strucker was the Hydra leader who had Wanda and Pietro in that castle in Avengers.
Oh man!
Yep. So there is some connections there that could.
In the MCU, he's the one that gave Wanda her powers, basically.
Yeah.
So that's what they're saying. There could be some connection, right? A fake commercial in 2021 advertised a brand of watches named Strucker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yep,
there's some crazy theories out in the world.
And then if you ever watched, there was a show on Fox years back called The Gifted. It was X-Men related, and the main characters, the family were the Von Struckers, and they were essentially children of Fenris. And anyways, there was some connections to them in that show as well.
So these twins are basically like front running stars that I should have been aware
of. Big names.
Big names.
Key
characters.
There should be way more FOMO for this book as well.
Yeah. Click add to cart. Okay. eBay. Here we go.
Hit eBay now before it's too late.
Buy up all the variants. That's right.
I got your newsstand direct, whatever you like. I got them all.
Little trench coat. John's just whichever you want. All right. Let's get into this last segment, and don't go away because we have our questions. So right after we give our final thoughts and this segment that I'm about to show, we will do our questions here. So I know everybody's itching to get the correct answer or the funny answers and try to make Ryan and the crew laugh here. So sit tight. We'll do that in a second. So new little segment we're gonna try out. We'll see how this goes. We figure this is season 6. We could throw some things against the wall, see what sticks. Ryan and John, and really everybody in the chat, you all can participate. I'm actually curious where everybody stands with this question. But moving forward here, at least for the next couple of episodes, we'll see how this goes. We're doing an MVP of the week. Yes, that's right. Some sports references.
I love it.
Right? See, Ron, I knew you'd appreciate this. John's excited. I don't know how I got John to sign off on this. I have his signature.
I'm gonna give love to my man Magic Lasso because he's had me doing this every month when we do Avengers versus Justice League of America. He makes us choose MVPs for that show, and then the MVPs go head to head. So he's been building towards this moment. So this brought to you by Magic Lasso.
Love it. We got Roy Kirk dropping the line already. MVP line, not trivia. All right, good clarity there. Good stuff. So yeah, just generally speaking, like who was like the like MVP in your opinion for this episode or for this issue, and give a little reason why. I'm curious. I see already Colossus Collector putting Nimrod in there, but Ryan, I'll start with you. Who is your MVP of the week for this issue?
I'm going to give it to Nimrod. I mean, unstoppable. I mean, it depends on which way you look at it. Like if you're going from an X-Men standpoint,
no wrong answer.
I think you could go Rogue or Kitty, but I'm going Nimrod because Nimrod was like lights out. He took down the Juggernaut like it was nothing. Come on, backhand the Juggernaut. That's MVP. That's an MVP performance for me, man.
That's fair. Can't argue that. And please, people in the chat,
drop. There's some great comments already in the chat. I want you to highlight Derek.
I saw.
who says that the MVP is JR's interior artwork, and it's that look at Storm right there in the middle. So like I'm throwing a dagger, but I'm also giving you the Costanza. Like it's all deadly there. Absolutely amazing. So
The perfect poncho
yeah.
for African safaris.
Right. Underwear not required.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Kitty Pryde. You're all wrong. Kitty Pryde. Come on, gang. Team Nerdy is facts on this. Nobody is there's zero leadership happening without Kitty Pryde in this issue. I don't know if Nightcrawler just absolutely froze under pressure here, but I know he got knocked unconscious pretty easily. I do feel like Kitty Pryde is the champ here. She even gives the idea to the solution to Rogue. Like, this is what you do. This is how he's vulnerable. Get to work. I gotta go rescue people, and I'm gonna save everybody in the bank. I'm gonna save the team. I'm gonna do everything here.
You took the words right out of my mouth, John. My pick was Kitty Pryde for this episode, and I will say, the idea of what Rogue did is really badass, really cool, and certainly is up there. But if it wasn't for Kitty, that strategy might not even come into play. So for her to be knocked out, as Ryan pointed out earlier, and for her to still think, oh, we got to do this, connect, skin to skin, take my powers, run with it, do what you got to do. Like, for her to do that, absolutely. The leadership 100%. And I mean, she was
performance, really.
Yeah, and she was the most badass on waking up and shutting off her alarm. I mean, out of anybody, like, everybody else randomly has to do. She's like able to use her ability. Like, that's just, now she's just showing off.
She did kind of waste an alarm clock doing that, but
she's behind in her closet. She probably has 100 that she's gone through.
Showed a little bit of immaturity there, but she bounces back hard.
Yeah,
was
so
quick Adam with the police officer who didn't recognize Juggernaut when he was standing right next to him.
Yeah.
That guy's an MVP. He let all this action happen.
My man Roscoe in the chat. What is going on, Roscoe? He was our featured guest last year. Good to see you, brother. Hope all is well. Thanks for swinging by here. Let me trying to keep up with some of the chat here. Yes, always. Ryan saying Dazzler. Yeah,
Ryan picked Dazzler
to be the issue MVP. Costanza says Tarek.
Yep.
Let's see. Some birthday wishes to Candace. Yeah, the police officer definitely spot on there as well. Let's see, Kitty. Even if her costume isn't up to her usual. Yeah, good point, Roy Kirk. Quite normal.
Although they do call her Ariel still.
She's
she's in the Ariel phase right now. So
yeah,
she's but don't worry, gang. Shadow Cat is not far away. As you can see on the on the cover here, we're nearing the Shadow Cat era, the superior Shadow Cat era. That's the best name for her,
which coincides with Rogue's mullet era.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too happy about that. You take your wins where you get them, Ryan.
Matt, good point here. Another thing I've got to get used to this year that's different from last year is that not a single person has bashed Professor X tonight. It's early. We haven't gone through our questions.
It's easy,
yet.
Matt, when Xavier and Cyclops aren't even in the book.
Not an issue. There's one mentioning of Xavier, but no appearances.
Adam, nothing wrong with that, my friend. Yep. The aerial phase. All right. Well, that's some fun. Maybe something we do moving forward. We'll see. But Ryan, thanks for being the guinea pig on that one.
My pleasure.
Well picked. Great choices from both of you and everybody in the chat. Let's before we get into the questions, final thoughts. That's what I want to do is final thoughts and grade on this book.
You're gonna remember it.
Final thoughts and grade. As you guys know, for anyone who's new, we like to give a ranking, and we usually do a CGC scale of ranking. So, a 9.0 is not like a 9 out of 10 per se. That's probably more of a 7 if you think about it, 7.5. So, we kind of keep it comic book based here. But John, final thoughts here on this book, and what would you grade this on a CGC scale?
I would say if the cover was as good as the interior, this is a 9.6. I'm going to ding it one level for the cover. So we're going to make this a 9.5. 4.
Near mint.
This was a whole lot of fun, and this was like, coming home again. This was like a homecoming. As much as I loved that New Mutants volume, this felt like home to me. This is in the era when I started reading X-Men. We're right here in the sweet spot for me. I know that JR is not everybody's taste, but this is all the nostalgia kick that I wanted from this book.
Yep.
And it works. The action works. The story works. The characterizations are wonderful. I vibed with this the whole way through. I was just like, yeah, baby, give me. And then when we got to the end, I was like, damn it, I want more. So this was exactly what I wanted out of this.
Love it. Love it. Well said. Roy Kirk dropping that other line for ranking. That's right. Not trivia yet, folks. Not trivia yet. And yeah, please drop your grades in the chat. I see everybody dropping them there. Ryan, how any final thoughts here, and what would you grade this on that scale?
Enjoy the book. I'm a little bit more of a harsher grader. I feel like if you're going to get into the 9s for me, it's got to really be a standout issue. This is
Ryan's just saying he knocked my guy out and he didn't get to do anything.
Ryan is clearly salty.
There's no Barry. Let's not forget great page with Rogue in the shower and my guy going like I loved all that.
Yep.
8.5 because it just doesn't quite crack the 9.
That's a great
solid issue. Great.
Very fair. No, very fair.
Absolutely.
I'm very biased. I was just giving you a hard time.
No, well, good pick. Candace, we're all with you there. Missed Uncanny for sure. So yeah, I'm right in between you guys. I'm gonna go about a 9.2 overall. And I think the cover is still, I mean, I'm getting there a little bit, but I think that's the one thing that dings it. I really enjoyed it. And maybe that is, John, as you pointed out, maybe just part of the idea of us coming back into this series, into this run, getting these characters that we know and love and miss because we haven't gotten enough of them over the last season or so. So I think that does play a role in that too. Maybe it's a little lower if it was out of that context. But I think regardless, I think everybody's pick is fair and accurate. So that's where I'm going with this too, because it was a lot of fun and look, a lot to learn, with these characters and little introductions to where they're at right now. So great to see them, even just that intro of them all kind of waking up to the news. So some great scores here. I saw Derek giving it a 9.4. He said 9.4 is fair. Roy Kirk, who says story is a 9.2, art 6.5. I think that's also fair as well if you were splitting it up there. Bobby Delegato going with a 9.69.
That might be the lowest score I've ever seen Bobby give.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that a white pages? Is that a where are we at with that?
It was shampooed pages.
Matt agrees with John. New Mutants was good, but Uncanny fits me like my favorite shirt. Agreed. Bobby, first time Rogue took multiple power covers. Oh yeah, right. That's a good point. Let's see. I really enjoyed this as a 9+. Yep, definitely. TM says 69. Yeah, 69, 6.9. I'm with you. Cream pages. There you go. All right. So there you go. There are the grades. I think I'm gonna keep track of this stuff, John. Our grades, so we can look back and maybe poke some fun at things, or even just to reference. Like
I can always go back and give you the older, tabulate the old ones if you want to make start a spreadsheet, and I'll fill in the data for you.
I think that'd be cool. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the questions. Enough of this slideshow here. All right. If you guys are not familiar, we're going to ask 4 questions that John and I have come up with that are based on last episode. So if you guys missed last episode, I can't help you. Normally, it's also based on the issue that we just talked about, but last episode was a kickoff show. We just kind of highlighted a bunch of things from last season, and we talked about some stuff. So these questions are going to be a little bit more based on that stuff. So we're looking for 2 people to answer correctly. Spelling does count if your name is Chet. And then on top of that, we are looking for 1 incorrect answer. So if you don't know the answer, give us something completely wrong, completely funny, something that will make Ryan laugh, because Ryan is going to choose out of all those incorrect answers on which one he likes the most as the incorrect answer. So play to your judge. All right, John, I'm going to pass it to you first. And Roy Kirk, there is the official line. Thank you so much.
He's ready. He's been waiting for this all night. For my man Matt Impress Comics, I played a video on my YouTube channel with my daughter singing just last week. What song was she singing? I know some people know this song because I've played that clip a ton. You might know the name of the song. It's repeated in the clip a bunch, but you could also just be funny. What song was my daughter singing?
It's a good question, John. Especially there are a few songs, there are a few clips, I should say, where she's singing certain songs. So, you could. Some people might still throw an incorrect answer out there, or you could take a stab at just throwing
the
them
first two I see are both correct. A long time ago, bro, says Bobby.
Yeah,
but no, the song is called "Me Party," and so it's from the Muppets. So yes, Old Wolf and Candace both got it right off the bat.
Ryan says "Nothing" by Brooks and Dunn.
I mean, or he could just be saying it, "Nothing" by Brooks and Dunn. Like,
no.
That's how I read it. Or do they have a song called "Nothing"?
Nope. Let's see. Shimmy like my sister Kate. Ryan,
that's a song that is legit, and he sent me the link to it, and I'm still traumatized.
TM says Barbie Girl. Remember, we're looking for some wrong answers as well. So Let It Go. That's another.
There is another clip of that on my channel. That does exist. That is real. Word Up.
Adam says Word Up.
They were rapping. Yeah, you don't know, right?
Hammer Smashed Face, says Derek.
TM nerdy.
Duality by Slipknot.
I could see it. They could crush that. Nobody needs that song in their head, Ryan. Nope. Come on. Cancel. You're canceled.
He lost. He just lost with that. Hey, Shark, don't do that to me. Put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with TM there.
There you go, Travis.
Right. There you go, Trav. Nice job. Good answer.
On the list, my guy.
All right. Okay, question number 2. I'm going to go with what did my shirt say? Simply put. What did my shirt say? And it's interesting because technically you couldn't see it for a while. There were certain moments where I had to actually show it. I think, anyways, or maybe you could see it. I don't know, through some of the pop-ups and stuff. But okay, yeah, we already got 2 answers there. So I guess this technically sets up for a lot of hilarious stuff as well that I'm bracing myself for. But the ones I have correct here, first Matt and Tony. Man. Guys are on it.
Lasso giving a little extra detail there, a little extra flair.
Oh, Ryan, you are not wrong, my friend. They just edged you out here, though. But good call. Candace says, if you can read this, I'm at a casino. I need that shirt. That is
fair. That is fair.
Bobby says, F the police. TM says, I used to be a DC fan. I still
you should have. I was gonna say you should have heard us backstage when Ryan jumped in. He's like, "What the heck show did I join? They're talking about DC Comics."
Oh no, Matt! Don't you do it? It said, "I love the Blue Jays." Right? He's really playing to his judge. Yeah, very smart. Man. I'm with stupid, and the arrow's pointing at John. I wear that all the time.
Yes.
Colossus forever. Be a cool shirt, dude.
That's a great shirt. You should buy it if it's out there. But I gotta go with my man Matt, Impress Comics, Blue Jays. Especially since I know Dustin's a Yankees fan. Makes it better.
John Jr.
Yeah, if I ever lose a bet to you, Ryan, that'll be the loss that I have to wear that shirt. All right. So we got John, you added that, or you got that one?
I did. I got it.
Impressed. Okay. John, your next question.
So my question is, well, then what was on my t-shirt? If he was with stupid, and what's on my shirt?
Oh gosh.
Stupid with the arrow pointing up, right?
There's the line, folks. There is the line.
You can't get past Impressed and Old Wolf tonight, gang. I'm just telling you right now, they are cluttering up the log jam here. A gravy stain.
Oh,
that might actually be true, Bobby. That might actually
pretty
do. Mustard. Wow. Okay.
Uh,
Dang.
Wow, man, they're
Am I-
coming
am
for
I
you,
this-
John.
Am I this slovenly?
this is great.
He's got
Every-
funny, classy shirts.
Everybody
over
was
there.
wait. Yeah, it was way nice.
I've just got gravy stains, mustard stains, sweat stains. There's a lot of love there.
This is great. Mr.
Wow.
Lego. Yeah.
Mr. Lego. I mean, thank you, TM. Jeez. Just I wanted to change a pace there at some point.
John's like, do I have any friends in the chat?
A
Right now?
bunch of savages, says Derek.
How do I pronounce Giacchio? That's right. Yeah, but
Really, Derek? I mean, they came hard.
giant windmill. Some great.
I was
Yep.
I was waiting for someone to say I love the Blue Jays, but since we didn't get that again,
No.
I gotta go.
No.
I gotta go with Gravy Stain. That's that
right,
got me
Bobby.
going pretty good. That first one in,
Bobby was
it
loaded
off.
on
That
that. He
was
was
ready.
ready.
that was funny.
It came in like a wrecking ball.
All right,
No,
so we
too
got
late,
our
too late, Lasso. Save it for the last one. We got one more
our
question.
pick
left.
there. All right, last question. What was the name of the series that I claimed that I read upon Chet's requests? This is a good question, especially for anyone who's really followed along with the banter that Chet and I have from the last probably 4 or 5 years within doing the show. Yeah, there was something I said. It was very specific. What was the name of the series that I claimed that I read upon Chet's requests? Let me refresh this here. Okay, yeah, no, nothing yet. This was definitely something you had to be paying attention to because it was kind of layers of a joke within a joke here. So
Nerdy's back. Nerdy's on fire.
My little bony friendship is magic.
Oh, man.
Derek, pork chop sandwiches.
Crushed it. The Twilight Saga comics. Oh my goodness.
Lasso says Hulk. It's not correct. It's not correct. The Twilight Saga. Yeah. 50 Shades of Grey.
No judgment. Everybody likes their smut their own way.
That's right. No smut shaming here. What was the name of the series that I claimed that I read upon Chet's request? Yeah, this is a tricky one, John. John, do you remember this answer? Not to say it out loud.
I thought I
Do you
did,
recall
but
it? Okay.
I felt like somebody in the chat was kind of close, but
Okay.
maybe not like 100% accurate. But
Omni Sandman. We did talk about that, Tony, but that wasn't during that point.
no.
We also talked about Black Panther, Candace, but that wasn't during that reference either. Matt says the title of the series was How to Act Like a Yankee Fan While Being in Love with the Blue Jays. Dirty man.
Triple X-Men.
Batman Year One. I mean, I do love me some Year One.
Triple
No, this might be a non-answer to start the
that's what I thought,
the
Matt,
series.
that it was
no.
I thought it was Incredible Hulk and an Incredible Hulk annual.
That was the book we were talking about, but I had said it as a different series. Not
Okay.
Hulk.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
just wondering if anybody picked that up. They didn't, so I'm gonna call this as a no answer here, but we will do a funny one, and then I'll
Okay.
give the answer. So Ryan, what was your thoughts on the funny?
Lots of really good ones.
I did give
I-
Lasso a point for his Iron Man shirt full answer.
Oh,
Since
okay,
you didn't get a
alright.
correct answer here.
That's
I'm throwing him a bone for the he gave the full answer for your shirt question.
That's
I
fair.
give Matt credit for doubling down on the Blue Jays, but I'm gonna give it to my buddy Derek for pork chop sandwiches because that came up on Mon Comics Halloween Spooktacular last night. We were nerding out in the chat, me and Derek, about the GI Joe PSA jokes, and so that was well played. So to my buddy Derek.
Nice. All right. So Derek's on the board. So the answer was Silver Surfer, actually. The answer was Silver Surfer. It was just me ignoring Chet as Chet was trying to ask about Hulk Annual 7? And I said, yes, of course, Chet. I did read Silver Surfer Annual 7. I
Yep.
loved that series.
That's
Of
how you
course
deal
I
with a
read that.
troll. That's how you
Yes.
deal with the troll.
Yes. So, and Chet's not even here right now, but I'm sure Chet would have got that because that would have drove that. I know that drove. So,
Worth it.
Yeah,
Worth it.
exactly. All right, gang. Those are the questions. Ryan, dude, thanks for helping us kick this show off for the new season. Always a pleasure to have you on. Anything you want to plug here or share before we go?
Well, like I said to you guys backstage, I've been on a bit of a YouTube hiatus for a lot of this year. Hoping to get back to more regular scheduled stuff. Probably getting closer to Christmas until I can do, or into December when I can start to do that stuff. But follow, subscribe, Colossus Collector YouTube, at Colossus Collector on Instagram. Let's connect, and hopefully you'll see something from me soon.
You know, you always got a place here, man. We always love having you because you bring the enthusiasm, you bring the joy, you bring the knowledge, and that's all we want.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I owe Derek a Fan Expo recap from months ago. He was supposed to be in that video, and I just haven't gotten to it.
I can understand. Some people make the cutting room floor. It's just kind of how that works.
Everything's on the cutting room floor right now. I get months of cutting room stuff.
Well, we appreciate you, and as we mentioned, your links are down below for anybody who's not following Ryan. Please do so. Ryan, we look forward to having you back here at some point for sure.
Anytime.
And definitely got to collab again with Council of X and everything that you're doing with the crew. Hopefully we'll catch you in the chat here answering some questions. Cool. And then, of course, make sure you're following John. I put his information down below because we will be breaking down issue 195 next Tuesday, 9:00 Eastern, over on John's channel. So be ready for that. Hope you took your notes.
Yeah, if you want to see why you don't have Wolverine babysit your kids, tune in next week and find out.
Oops, spoilers.
Cover.
Yes, that's right. I think that's it for now. I think this was a good show. Hour and 36, for a kickoff.
I'm impressed.
We had a new
buddy.
segment, even all that stuff.
I'm saying,
come on, no JP not here to troll me. This is great.
No Cyclops. He bailed.
Oh yeah. He missed Cyclops. All right, gang. Well, we appreciate everybody. Smash that like button on the way out. Hopefully, we'll see you on John's channel next Tuesday. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.